Hello everyone and welcome to a quick Second Empire update. I wanted to show you some progress I've made on updating some of the models of Second Empire. Well, basically I've literally just finished some more additions. So this is a standard commando model, Mark 6 travel machine, and it's essentially the same as it's always been, but there are a few notable differences, mainly in the controls. The first difference is the ears. I know people don't like to call them ears, but for reference, we'll call them ears. Before, if I pull up one of the... Let's pull up another one. Nope, that one's been altered too. Haha. I think that one. Yes. Now, if I bring him into... No, this one. Wow, so that was pretty good. So you'll be able to notice the difference in the ears, that they are transparent and they have a light inside, and that basically allowed me to illuminate the ears. So if I compare them, now the reason the model isn't showing up is because the light is basically taking everything away and there's no external light. So I mean, alright, these worked, but they weren't... They always bugged me. They didn't look very good, and I couldn't get them to the way I wanted it without it really impacting on render times. Now if I just get rid of him, goodbye, you will be updated later. So what I did was, when MacMaster does the comic, he essentially makes them like this, and then in Photoshop, or whatever program he uses, I can't remember, adds a little white glow in the middle to make it look like a bulb. I think it even has, let me have a look. No. Yeah, you see that's where the bulb would go. This way it just looks a little bit better, I think, when you've got the whole glass illuminating. It might look a bit weird, but it makes them very noticeable. I mean, the way I sync them up to the voice is still the same, so you still get the flickering because some of the clips aren't as clean as they should be. But sadly, there's nothing really I can do about that without going through them in an audio editing program, which I don't really have time to do. The next update, turn them off, is well, actually the last update is the weapons. With these commandos, not many people realise they have both the beam and the shot weapons. So the beam obviously is the beam, which I click that button and one appears. If I go into the hierarchy and click gun stick, you see you've got the shot on an emitter and the beam as a light. Basically, I can also control the brightness and the length of it. The brightness I don't really need because it's always going to be on, unless I do an effect like in the last episode of season 1 where Rose gets shot by the Dalek and she puts her hand up and the beam like retreats back into the gun. But as yet I've not had a cause to do that. And they're not really slow enough beams to like... They're pretty much like a shoot and fire sort of thing. They're a more sustained version of the shot. You can get more shots off, but they're about half the power. So if you shot a Dalek once with a beam in the eye, it would basically blow the eye off. If you shot a Dalek once in the eye with the shot version, it would damage it, but not damage it as much, if that makes sense. Now the last update, as in about 20 minutes ago, is an idea I had last night, is to the shot. Also, there's been another update. As you can see, before, when you animated, when you were animating an emitter, that is all you saw. That little line, that was the indicator of where the shot was, which is fine, and I've just noticed a problem. Out of radius. Yeah, that's fine. I just noticed that one of the shot glow was longer than the shot itself. Anyway, yeah. So are you gonna? There you go. So when you've got one Dalek, that's okay. You can kind of follow that. So say if I wanted this Dalek to hit a wall, let's just put a wall up. Alright, so you want him to hit the wall, so there, yeah, and so you'd know, and then see it disappears. About shot 8, it would hit. So that's when you would put maybe another emitter to do like a smoke charge or something like that. Most of the time, you'd actually add an effect after it, like After Effects or something like that. But you notice that when I'm scrolling back, it disappears sometimes, so it can be very tricky. And if you've got there's a shot in episode 6 where there's a load of Daleks firing at target range, and I had to basically go through that and look out for each of these lines and add. So that's why they're not really keyed up that well, because it's a little bit finicky. I was wishing for ages that there was a way to actually see the object, and I randomly clicked this one day and got that. So I don't know how long that's been there. It's probably been there the whole time, which is brilliant. So now you can, and you also get the better timing as well. So you can see how many shots the Dalek fires and how quickly. So when I'm doing rough shots, the battles look a lot better than they would normally. And I can also control. Before, I'd have to go into each of the Dalek hierarchies and locate the emitter, which involved opening up the gun section, which isn't a huge task, but when you've got maybe 20 or more Daleks to do, it can quickly add up to minutes taking to set up a shot. So now I can keep all this closed, and I can do it from the model itself. So I can tell it when to start, when to stop. The next thing to do, which I'll do now actually, is to what is that value called? I can't remember actually. It is birth rate. So we will go to. I added some more data. Where have you gone? Never mind. There's not another one in there, is there? Nope. Birth rate. And that's basically just how much what do you call that? Which one are you? Data type float. So you'd be a real, wouldn't you? Maximum. Let's leave it at 10. And then we go to Espresso. Yeah, these are the controls. It's more complicated than it. Sorry, it's less complicated than it looks. For example, this here is. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll just let me finish this off. Commando. Birth rate. Emitter. Particle. Birth rate editor. Birth rate renderer. The editor is as we are now, and the end renderer is the final render. So you can have, if you want to. I don't know why you'd have different rates, because if you're trying to do like, excuse the phone. So that's good. Yeah, I was going to show you that as well. So this torch head on, torch head off, and lights is, you see the blue glow at the bottom of the Dalek? That's essentially that. So now it appears like that, and then that's another thing as well. When you've got the hover lights off, you can render the Dalek very quickly, and the torch headlights is touches on, and then wait, what? Oh, why are you not working? Oh, okay, that's the wrong way around. That is the wrong way around. Why is that the wrong way around? Torches on, torches off, torch setup. What? Okay, never mind. That still works. So yeah, so that's what that does. Where have you gone? I think that's incredibly cool, and so I can just turn that off. Burn was basically a failed experiment to have a texture applied to the Dalek, but as you can see, for some reason it doesn't work. So if I had a camera rotating around this Dalek, the burn would basically the camera would be chasing the burn, which is why I never use that. I need to fix that actually. Is that everything? I think it is. Basic controls are still the same, you know. A lot of people have said, why don't I have something to click on around here and actually aim the gun and the arms manually? I could do that, but I've just gotten used to doing this. It's all down to personal preference, really. Yeah, so that's basically it for the Daleks. I'm still working on doing the human rigs. They are incredibly complicated, and I'm even more terrified about facial animation, but hey, it's a skill I've got to learn. Do I have anything else to talk about? No, at the minute I'm working on episode 11 still. I've got 26 shots left. Some of them are battle, most of them are talky, but a lot of them are crowd scenes, so that's why that's taking a long time. Thank you very much for watching. I will hopefully have a new video out for you soon.